Can a narcissist truly love? Is it possible to love without empathy? These are questions that have intrigued psychologists, scholars, and those who've had the unique experience of being in a relationship with a narcissist. As we venture into these complex queries, let's start by defining what we mean by narcissism. Narcissism, a term that originates from Greek mythology, is now widely used to describe a personality disorder characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. These individuals are often preoccupied with fantasies about success, power, brilliance, beauty, or the perfect mate. They believe they are superior and can only associate with equally special people, but here's where it gets tricky. If a narcissist is so self-absorbed, so devoid of empathy, can they ever genuinely love another person? Love, as we understand it, is about caring for another's well-being as much as your own, if not more. It's about empathy, understanding, and selflessness. It's about putting someone else's needs before your own. In contrast, narcissistic love is often about control and possession. It's about having someone who will admire them, who will reflect their perceived greatness. It's about satisfying their needs and desires, often at the expense of the other person's feelings. And yet, it's important to remember that narcissists are human beings too. They are capable of experiencing a range of emotions, even if they express them differently. They can feel a strong attachment, a deep fascination, or an intense desire for someone. But can we call this love? The answer is not black and white, and it often lies in the gray area of human emotions and relationships. It's complicated, just like the human mind itself. But before we jump into conclusions, let's delve deeper into the complex world of narcissism and love. Let's examine the paradoxes, the challenges, and the possibilities that come with loving a narcissist. Because when it comes to love, nothing is ever simple and everything is possible. According to the experts, narcissism isn't a one-size-fits-all diagnosis. It's a term we often throw around, but what does it truly mean? Dr. Susan Heitler, a clinical psychologist, explains that narcissism exists on a spectrum. On one end, we have healthy self-esteem, an essential component for personal growth and successful relationships. On the other, we find pathological narcissism, characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance and a lack of empathy. Clinical psychologist Dr. Ramani Durvasula broadens our understanding by emphasizing that narcissists aren't necessarily devoid of love. It's the nature of their love that is different. They tend to love in a self-serving way, with their needs and desires at the forefront. They love how you make them feel, what you do for them, and how you reflect on them. Therapist Lisa Firestone elaborates that narcissists are capable of feeling a type of love, but it's often conditional, and their ability to empathize is limited. Empathy, the capacity to understand and share the feelings of others, is crucial for deep and meaningful connections. Without it, a narcissist's love is more about possession and control than mutual understanding and respect. Dr. Craig Malkin, a psychologist specializing in narcissism, reminds us that not all narcissists are the same. He classifies them into 3 categories: exhibitionist, closet, and toxic narcissists. Each type experiences love differently and poses unique challenges in relationships. Exhibitionist narcissists often seek adoration and attention, viewing their partners as extensions of themselves. Closet narcissists, on the other hand, tend to attach themselves to someone they admire, using their partner to boost their self-esteem. Toxic narcissists are the most dangerous, as they can swing between feeling superior and inferior, causing emotional chaos for those around them. In conclusion, it's essential to remember that every individual and relationship is unique. Narcissism is not a definitive barrier to love, but it certainly complicates it. It's clear that narcissism isn't black or white, but a complex spectrum of behaviors and traits. If narcissists struggle with empathy, can they truly love someone else? A question that sparks a myriad of debates and conflicting viewpoints. Let's delve into what research suggests about the capacity of narcissists to love. Firstly, it's essential to understand that narcissism exists on a spectrum. On one end, we have the extremely self-absorbed individuals who may exhibit traits of narcissistic personality disorder, and on the other, people who merely have a healthy dose of self-confidence. The capacity for love varies along this spectrum. Secondly, love is subjective. What one person perceives as love might not resonate with another. Narcissists, due to their self-centered nature, express love in a way that primarily serves their needs. They are drawn to partners who bolster their ego, admire them, and enhance their status. This might not fit the conventional definition of love, where empathy, understanding, and selflessness are pivotal, but in the narcissist's world, it is their version of love. Here's where the paradox lies. Narcissists are capable of feeling intense passion, attachment, and even a certain form of love. But their lack of empathy, their insatiable need for admiration, often eclipses their ability to connect with their partner's needs, feelings, or perspectives. They love in a way that is self-serving. One research study found that narcissists could show empathy when explicitly asked to take someone else's perspective. This suggests that narcissists might have the potential to empathize, and by extension, to love in a more conventional sense. But it's a skill they may need to consciously develop, and it's not their default mode of operation. So the paradox of loving a narcissist is this: they can love, but their love is often more about serving their needs and less about genuinely connecting with their partner's emotional world. So it seems narcissists can love, but their love might look different from what we typically understand as love. Is it possible to love a narcissist safely from a distance? This question lingers on the minds of many who find themselves entangled in the complex web of narcissism. The answer is neither simple nor straightforward, but let's delve into it. Loving a narcissist from a distance means engaging with them while maintaining a safe emotional space. It's like walking on a tightrope where the slightest misstep can lead to an emotional downfall. Yet, it's not an impossible task. It starts with setting boundaries. Boundaries are essential in any relationship, but they are especially critical when dealing with a narcissist. These boundaries can be physical, emotional, or even digital. The key is to establish and maintain them firmly. This brings us to our next point: emotional health. Loving a narcissist from a distance requires one to be emotionally robust. It's crucial to keep your emotional health in check, as narcissists often manipulate emotions to their advantage. Regular self-care activities, therapy, and support from loved ones can help in staying emotionally balanced. Understanding the limitations of a relationship with a narcissist is another critical aspect of loving them from a distance. Narcissists have a limited capacity for empathy, which can make the relationship feel one-sided at times. Acknowledging this limitation can help set realistic expectations and prevent unnecessary heartache. But remember, every situation is unique, and what works for one may not work for another. It's essential to tailor these strategies to your specific circumstances. And while it's possible to love a narcissist from a distance, it's equally important to prioritize your well-being. Engaging with a narcissist doesn't mean you have to lose yourself in the process. Stand firm, be resilient, and remember that your emotional health is paramount. It's a delicate dance, this dance of love and narcissism. It requires patience, understanding, and an unyielding commitment to self-care. Loving a narcissist from a distance is a delicate balance, but it's not impossible. After all, love is a powerful force, capable of overcoming even the most formidable obstacles. Is long-term happiness possible in a relationship with a narcissist? This is the question that many find themselves asking, and it's a question that doesn't come with a simple answer. Navigating a relationship with a narcissist can be likened to sailing in turbulent waters. The waves may be high, the journey may be rough, but with the right tools and strategies, it can be possible to reach a place of calm. One of these essential tools is therapy, specifically therapy that focuses on understanding and managing narcissistic behavior. This could be individual therapy for the narcissist, couples therapy, or both. Therapy can provide the space to explore the root causes of narcissistic behavior and develop strategies to manage it. Now, another crucial strategy is building a strong support network. Being in a relationship with a narcissist can be isolating, but it's important to remember that you're not alone. Reach out to friends, family, or support groups who can provide perspective and emotional support. Self-care is another key component to consider. This includes setting boundaries, standing up for your needs, and taking time for yourself. It's essential to remember that your well-being matters, and it's okay to prioritize it. However, it's also important to recognize that in some cases, the healthiest option might be to leave the relationship. This isn't a decision to be taken lightly, and it's one that only you can make. Seeking professional advice can be helpful in making this difficult choice. Remember, a relationship with a narcissist can be challenging, but it's not impossible to find happiness. It requires work, patience, and a strong sense of self. It's about understanding the narcissist's behavior, setting clear boundaries, and most importantly, taking care of your own emotional health. In the end, Happiness in a relationship with a narcissist depends on many factors, including the narcissist's willingness to change and the strength of the partner's boundaries and self-care practices.